Sunshine Coast up there at Majimba, mate.
Majimba, yeah, that's it.
Yeah. So,
Nice spot.
Oh, beautiful spot. Beautiful spot.
Excellent.
LB had the idea, geez, it wouldn't be bad living up here until she looked at the prices of houses, right?
Oh, what are they? Even more than down here?
Nothing under $1 million.
Oh, you're kidding, yeah?
Nope.
Oh,
Nothing
wow.
under $1 million. So
Where's this at Majimba?
Yeah.
What the? Not
That's
even
what we
at
call it too,
Maroochydore.
brother.
Not even at Maroochydore or Mooloolaba or anywhere like that. Yeah.
Nah.
Noosa? Noosa'd be expensive, I would imagine, brother. Yeah.
I reckon they're all going over the top, brother, to be honest. So
yeah, maybe they have. Yeah. Hey, I better. We've got someone on already, but I'm going to say a quick acknowledgement. So, I'd like to acknowledge the country we're on. In fact, like Uncle Bob Randall once said, it's the oneness. We all oneness, and we talk about country. We talk about the people, the custodians of the land we're on, and this is the Bunjalung land and Yugambeh country that myself and JB are on. But I'd also like to pay our respects to the local elders here as well, past, present, and emerging ones. I've got to put a shout out as well to my people up north, up in Cairns, Yirinji people, and also the Budigal people from way up north, up in the Torres Straits. So big shout out to them, and wish that everyone's okay. I know that they're trying to get some, I believe there's a case of COVID going up to Cairns just recently, sometime today, and they were scrambling around, maybe in lockdown. I'm not sure what's going on up there tonight, so maybe someone can tell us. But yeah, hand it over to you, JB.
Beautifully said, brother, as per normal. So well said. I too would like to acknowledge all our elders, past, present, and any up and coming. Pay tributes to all our old people, our ancestors, and thank them and acknowledge them for all the hard work that they've done in the past to get us where we are today. And I'd also like to acknowledge my ancestors and the people of the Muddy Muddy people, so down southwest of New South Wales. Thank you, brother, and good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon, Buzz. Yeah, look, I was talking about your country down there, Muddy Muddy people. How they going? Have you heard from anyone down that way?
Yeah, not too bad, brother. I mean, it's I think it's hard for everyone, like especially down that way, and the whole of Victoria and New South Wales struggling a bit. So they're right on the border, right near the border there. So it's a little bit each way, brother. Really. So
yeah, mate,
yeah. So everyone, and we do acknowledge that again, CJ. The terrible stress and the toll that COVID has taken on people with the mental health issues and all those other things associated too with COVID, with people being on their own and people being, I suppose, strung together as well, and not being able to get out and see others as well, brother. So
that's
really,
right.
really hard times, right? But
really hard
hopefully
time,
it's going to be opening up. I hear, CJ, but I think that they keep changing the goalposts.
Yeah, I know. I know, brother.
They were talking about 70%, 80%, and I don't know, brother, but yeah. So, but yeah, look, CJ's gone. He's come back in now.
Yeah, what's happened there?
Don't know what happened. But yeah, look, we've got a few people we need to say g'day to, brother. We've got Warren Dempster's on. He said, "Hi, brothers. How are you today?" Hello, brother Warren. How are you? Been loving lives that you've been doing, brother. So well done and keep them up. We've got Andy Turner, who's over in Thailand. He said, "Have a good one, gentlemen, from Nan in Thailand." Yeah, g'day, Andy. How are you, brother?
Wake up.
We've got Andy's good mate, Scotty, the mad scientist page. He said, "Good afternoon, gentlemen."
Yeah. G'day, guys.
And then we got Robert Ellis. Robert's up in Cairns, brother, so he might be able to tell us a little bit about what's going up there re-COVID, brother.
Yeah, that's right. Some news coming from up there, someone border skipper or whatever. ended up in Cairns, and yeah, so you can
Mission
tell us a
Beach
bit
as
about that,
well, I
Robert.
think, brother. Wasn't it?
Mission Beach as well. Wow,
Yeah.
jeez.
That's where me and LB got married, brother.
Mission Beach.
Yep.
Nice spot.
Beautiful spot. We always tell the
Yeah.
story, brother. Two black fellas getting married at Mission Beach, and then
Back to
landing.
the beach.
Yeah, back to the beach, and then down when we come to the Gold Coast, we lived in the park. The apartment's called In the Park. So two black fellas living in the park, brother.
Oh, no, really? Oh, God. I remember going to Mission Beach years ago. I don't know, probably 1980 something. And there's a property right, had a pool over there right on the beach. It was $11,000.
Oh, wow.
But $11,000 was a lot of money back then, you know. So
Yeah.
just the same. But yeah, imagine if you bought that. Oh, God, geez. Anyway, beautiful spot, mate. Beautiful part of the country. Mate, I know that people are doing it tough out there. We talked a little bit about that, you know, especially out west there, western New South Wales. I think, you know, with that state opening up, there's a lot of movement happening. Just got to, you know, keep the protocol going. I suppose if you have to wear a mask, wear a mask. But I've got to say, we did this last week. We talked a bit about, you know, the front, you know, the guys on the front line, the nurses, the doctors, the paramedics, the, you know, police, the whole lot, how they're going, and you know, doing a fantastic job, I'd imagine. This would be quite a bit chaotic for with the whole New South Wales opening up, I would imagine. You know, the workload would have started to skyrocket a bit. Look, our thoughts to them, those people, and you know, take care of yourself, take some time off, look after yourself. Number one.
Yeah,
can't help.
Well said. Yeah, well said again, brother. And I think you're right too. You know, like and our borders will be opening up as well, brother. So I think it's going to put a little bit of strain and stress and anxiety amongst a few people. And you know, we also need to acknowledge the great work that the people that on the border checkpoints are doing as well, brother. You know, like some of them are a long way from home as well, and you know, spending weeks away from home, from their family, and all that sort of stuff. So, you know, good on them, and you know, trying to be nice to them. So,
yeah, definitely, mate. Yeah. Hey, look, I thought you might have been in Brisbane running that race, bridge to bridge.
No, brother, I did the Majimba Park run on Saturday morning, so I was pretty happy with that. Yeah, so. Yeah, look, and did all right too. Me and the mad scientist had a bit of a plan, and I executed the plan and got the job done, brother. So yeah,
that's all it is. Yeah, well done. Yeah, all the way. What you get a clock of time, or you done that one before?
25, brother. So
yeah,
pretty happy with that. Yeah,
25. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, 25 minutes, 25 seconds, 5K. So yeah.
Right. Beautiful.
Yeah, so it wasn't bad. We've also got Lyndon Riley. He's in Cairns too, brother. So he might be able to give us an update on what's happening with the situation in COVID.
Yep.
And we've also got Brother Randall Ross there. He said, "Hello, brothers. Good to see you both. Going strong as ever." Hello, Brother Randall. Let us know how you fellas are going up there in Townsville as well.
Yeah.
And we've got Christine Butler as well. Yay, we're out of 4-day lockdown, mask mandatory, as well as first jab by this Friday. No jab, no job. Oh, wow.
They're putting the finger there, you know. I reckon they're just in the territory. I reckon they'd have different rules to here, I suppose. So yeah, definitely. Especially with those remote communities, people coming from community, going to Darwin and to Catherine, and for their their supplies or services that they require. So yeah, definitely. I reckon that's the go, and we don't want to be spreading it any further than you have to do or whatever. Yeah, mate. And Scotty said, "Well done on your park run, JB." PBJB. There you go.
Yeah. Well, he kept me honest, Scotty, because he said to me last week, "What's your plan?" And I said, "To run faster." And apparently that wasn't the right answer. That wasn't the correct answer. So Scotty had to have a couple of words with me, and we had to work out a little bit better plan than that, brother. So it all went to plan, Scotty, thanks to you. And I was thinking a lot about as I was running what you said, brother. So there you go.
Yeah. So run smarter, is it? Is that what it is?
Well, it is a little bit like that, brother. Yeah. Again, and I don't want to spend too much time talking about running because I could talk about it all day. But the thing that we've learned a lot about over the last few months is about being able to run slower to run faster. So we've been running via our heart rate, and to do that, we've had to run slower, but it certainly helped make us run faster. So, some of those hill sessions with Scotty Page and the mad scientist and the interval sections as well, geez, they hurt when you're doing them, but they actually help you in the long run. So, yeah. We've got Robert Ellis. He said, "Hey, man, in Townsville at the moment, not sure what's going on with COVID in Cairns. Home tomorrow to find out." Okay, brother. Well, maybe you can let us know in the group, Rob? That'd be fantastic. So,
yeah, no, it's been.
And I just want to say too, Rob's one of those fellas that goes out and puts the nets in the ocean. Some amazing stories there, brother. That I've heard a few stories off Rob about some of the stuff about putting those nets in the ocean. You can imagine working around Cairns and Townsville or places like that, brother. So some amazing stuff goes on there. So.
Bet you. I wonder what they pull in those nets, mate. Sometimes.
Yeah.
Be careful, some bodies, but.
I might have to get Rob on and hear a bit of his story, brother.
Well, he did say no worries, mate. So, is that what you asked him just then?
Well, I haven't, but we have now, brother. So
no worries. He's saying no worries about letting us know what's happening in Cairns, mate. So yeah, do that, brother. Here, I'll find out if my family's all good up there. Get some big barrow. I reckon you would too, mate.
Yeah.
Yeah, bloody monsters. Christine Butler said, "Look, I'll terminate the mandate rallies, but unfortunately, there will be thousands unemployed on Friday." CHA directions. So, Chief Health Officer.
It's a bit, a little bit sad for people that, we're talking about, probably frontline workers as well, brother, and
that's right.
They've probably put in, some hard yards as well, and to then, I suppose, it's certainly a big talking topic and point of view. Everyone's got a point of view on it and all that sort of stuff, brother. But we hate to see people losing their jobs and all that sort of stuff, brother. So,
but I guess what's the worst can happen is seeing people lose their lives because of this. You know what I mean? It's
definitely, brother. We don't want to see anyone, get ill and and be crook and and as you say, even die, brother. I mean, we don't want to see that, So
that's yeah. There's a big thing up at Moree there, in the Goondiwindi. That happened over the week.
Yeah.
The weekend, that was pretty.
Moree
yeah. So that sprung up. I know, mate, but I don't know. It's we've been sort of kind of locked down here with this bloody, not locked down. I shouldn't say locked down. We can go out, but I mean the rain's been just coming in. They reckon it's gonna be like this week.
Yeah. And I mean that's probably a little bit different, and we, oh, mate, it's look. I think we've been really lucky here on the coast. And, with COVID, and we've talked about this a lot, CJ. You know what I mean? So, Yeah, we've been lucky, but again, it's I suppose the luck of the draw, I suppose, brother. So
Well, that's right. It was. I think it had something to do with how it was managed. Eh?
yeah,
You
yeah.
know,
I shouldn't just say luck of the draw because you're
yeah,
right, brother. You're certainly right. I mean,
how this whole Queensland thing was managed, I think, compared to other states and territories, I suppose it's the certainly the tracing stuff got down to to a fine art, I suppose. They quickly community tracing happened, I suppose. What do you call quarantine? All that sort of stuff was in place.
yeah.
As soon as they heard of something, it went straight. They did the investigation, found the source, and then stopped it.
But you would think, brother, that the contact tracing is the same system that they use all over the place. So you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. No. Well, you think that would be, wouldn't you? Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
Yeah. I see Jen Hagen's on. Hi, Jan. How are you? Good to see you.
Good morning, Jan. How are you?
Yeah.
We've got Christine Butler said, no power now, big storms on the way, can't win. Okay, so they're out of lockdown and you've got big storms there, brother. So,
well, it's only, was it November? So it's getting towards that time of the year up there. It's a bit of a wet season. Monsoon's heading in, so it'll get a bit wet, I reckon. Get a bit wet. Actually, I've got to say, K-Town, I saw that Paulie Walker got a number of awards over the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
So
I've seen that too, brother. That's a big recognition, isn't it?
Yeah.
I can't remember the exact what he's been nominated for, but hey, absolutely beautifully done, Paulie Walker, and congratulations.
Flew from Cairns, and just today, one young guy from Sydney who's from Darwin Airport. So he took off, this guy. So Christine says, 121-year-old female flew in Cairns, and just today, one young guy from Sydney who was gone from Darwin Airport. Yeah, so
wow.
Yeah. So we're gonna hear a lot of this happening over the next probably few months, I suppose.
Oh, I think so, brother. Yeah, like
I think so, mate. Yeah.
And look, as we said before too, CJ, that with our borders opening up on supposedly the 18th of December, what they're gearing for is a lot of cases of COVID. So, I guess, and I can't remember the exact numbers, but they did say, how many Queenslanders will be exposed to COVID and all this sort of stuff. So, we're just got to be really careful and really mindful of the way forward, I guess. So.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think that's right, mate. And I just think it's going to put a lot of pressure on the health system as it is. When these guys have been, especially the frontliners and there's health workers have been stretched already. You know what I mean? So I'm not quite sure how they're going to manage it, but just got to look after ourselves, look after your family, look after your friends. And hopefully we'll all get through this transition stage. I reckon it is. It's like transitioning in and just living with this particular sources virus, I suppose. Yeah, COVID. But we'll see how it goes, mate. Yeah. Hey, opportunity on Friday morning.
Yep. I was just going to ask you about this too, CJ. So you've been with
have a chat on 98 Murray County station, and it was really good. They just got me on there because of the Movember stuff. But had the opportunity to talk up JBCJ because Karina, the interviewer, she drops on here every now and then to listen. So she was saying how great it is when she's a single mum trying to bring up a son. How great it is to come on and listen to us guys have a chat about a whole range of things, so that she can, obviously continue to raise her son with the number of role models, good role models she's talking about. So which I thought was quite humble to say the least. It was really nice to hear that. So it was on 98.9. I'm on there this Friday as well again. probably the next Friday, November's over. So yeah, it's a bit of a yarn, I suppose. Around, yeah. So we did everyone the name, the title, all that sort of stuff. Jack Bullman, JB, and CJ on a Monday night on Facebook. So so we've got a little bit of publicity out of it as well, mate. So, but yeah,
and I think that's fantastic too, brother. And well done with your efforts again with Movember. I know how committed you are to the cause, and absolutely fantastic to see, brother. And big kudos to you, brother, for that. And everyone that's supporting you in your journey, and your boys as well, because they're involved as well. Mo's a beauty, mate. So
yeah, I know. I can't wait to get rid of it, but it's kind of it's there for a cause, I suppose, and that's what it is.
Well, that's the thing, brother. That's the thing. Yeah. So the only thing is, brother, if I grow up, I look like a serial killer. So I've been told. So
just grab one of those ones that go right down here, mate, like that. Yeah. People will be giving you a wide berth, I reckon.
100%. 100%. Yeah.
We're gonna be self and Nathan Appo, the other guy that flew over to London with us to do the big campaign. We're going to be doing something at the Meanjin markets, which are on next Friday the 19th. So it's an all-day thing. So it starts it's about 9 till 9. I think there's a few performances happening. About 30 odd businesses will be there. Their wares. I think a bit of it's online as well. So we're going to be there with some banners. Raising awareness, raising some funds, and having a bit of fun as well for the Movember Foundation. So,
fantastic,
we'll be there. We'll be there.
Well done.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So, and well done to Nathan as well. Fantastic stuff.
Yeah, good, mate. It's,
and just something that probably ties into that a little bit, with the JB and CJ stuff. Have been in contact with Peter Mulcahy, who was on a couple of weeks ago. Yep. He's now finished a bit of a first draft of the logo for us, brother. So we'd love to get him back on just to explain to me about the story. And I said, look, we'd love to get him back on to just tell that story about what he's thinking and with the logo. So hopefully it's finished this week so we can put it up and see what people think, brother, and then we can get our JB and CJ t-shirts started, brother.
We can do, yeah. I'm looking forward to it. I'm pretty excited about it, actually, because, well, it's nearly, what is it, nearly 18 months, I suppose. Is it 18 months?
Oh, it's more than that, brother. Yeah, look, it's more than that. So it's we're probably looking at about 20 months now, I reckon.
Oh, right. Yeah, that's pretty good. I mean, who would have thought? I would never have thought the first time we did it, I thought, this is crazy, what are we doing? And it's we didn't know what we're doing, really. It was just
we didn't know what we're doing. We still don't, brother. So
I suppose that's the beauty of it, I guess. I see Scotty's put up a bit of a post there, a bit of a message saying he says in our business, he's got a business. I have noticed a real positive shift in customers' mindset in the past 8 weeks. It's a confidence I haven't seen since the pandemic was announced. Obviously, cases will rise once border restrictions are relaxed. I hope our confidence remains. We all need to get on with life. Yeah, we do certainly have to, mate. And well said, Scotty. And I think that's echoed around everywhere. In Australia, I reckon, and especially for people that have relied on businesses yours, mate. To catch up people socially. It's really great to go to a coffee shop and catch up with an old friend, or if you've got a regular like JB and I have. I go down to the surf club down here every morning, and that's my little social outing. But yeah, it's I'm certainly sure that a lot of people will be happy and probably would be really keen to get back to that type of normal, mate. Yeah, so thanks, Scotty.
Yeah, thanks, Scotty, too. I mean, one of the best coffees on the Gold Coast too, Scotty. So we love a Scotty Page coffee. So, yeah, thank you. We've got Jan Hogan there too, brother, and she just
What's he saying?
UK government will only act when forced to, when our hospitals are in crisis, which they are already. Everything has been open for a while, including airports, music, concerts, cinemas, theatre, etc. It is herd immunity the UK are relying on now, but at least this time round, the vaccine has reduced the number of deaths, but still over hundreds, as opposed to thousands dying from COVID each day across the UK. Many people we know have personally had COVID now, even though double vaccinated. Thank goodness they have not been hospitalised. Keep safe, everyone. Yeah, thanks for that, Jan. That's really well said, and we love to have those updates because we don't hear a lot about what happens overseas, and yeah, so thank you, Jan.
Yeah, that's yeah, and I guess that's it, I suppose. You really be interested to see what that compares to back in normal days. Back in say 2018, how many people died, a day in the UK compared to what it is now. So you subtract that figure from that figure to see how many died from COVID, wouldn't you?
Oh, I think that's a really good point too, CJ. And I'm not sure that you'd be able to. Oh, you probably will be able to get those numbers, but I don't know if it's something that government want to get out particularly. But because you don't hear a lot, because like people die of the flu as well each year. So and we haven't heard a lot about the flu of recent. So you don't know, and like seriously, like we've talked to a few people, and I'm like, mate, we're with everybody here, like whatever you want to do, you do, but we have spoke to a few people of late who have been pretty crook from the vaccine as well. So, there's a young fella here today that actually stayed at our place while we went camping for the weekend, and he had his vaccine last week, and he's had some real troubles with shortness of breath and pains in the heart and those sort of things. So he was off to the doctors tonight to see what they could do for him, So, and we've heard a few stories like this, brother, So I'm not trying to instill fear or anything like that, but we do need to hear about these things as well, So
yeah, that's right, mate. Yeah, well, look, over the years, I think I've been given the wrong strength of medication, and that's affected pretty badly. And had to go back and because I nearly passing out, so had to go back to the doctors. They gave me something a little bit less, and that works for me. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like with this vaccine, I suppose it's a bit like that, I guess. And although they do one size fits all, really.
Well, I think that's right. That's so true, brother. And look, hey, and I'm not trying to sway anyone in any particular way, brother. I mean, I'm just saying what people have told me. So a little bit scary both ways, and I suppose you have to work out what's the
right dosage, whatever.
Yeah, what's the right dosage? What's the
and is it the right
the lesser of evils, I suppose?
Yeah, that's right. Is it the right medication for all that sort of stuff? I think that's why they keep it in hospital time, because they do that stuff. They give you something, see how you react, might bloody make it stronger, make it less weaker, and that sort of stuff. They make sure it gets to the right one. But that's possible, I suppose. But with this COVID stuff and the vaccinations, it's just that one shot. No one, everyone's different, and it affects everyone. So it's kind of that's.
And I know you look. You're spot on, and I think beautifully what you just said, brother. I mean, everyone's different, so everyone reacts differently, and some people, do have those adverse reactions. So
yeah, I've been told. Michelle was told today that there's going to be another vaccine that'll come in the new year that'll be
Novavax, mate.
lot better than any other. So
It's called
So, yeah.
Novavax, yeah.
Novavax, yeah. So
Yeah.
which has more natural, I suppose, what they call
Well,
it,
it's
protein that carries
a little
the
bit, yeah,
virus.
yeah, a little bit. It's plant based, and it's I believe it carries a dead protein rather than live. So yeah.
Yeah. Fair enough. Well, I think as time gets on, the vaccines will get I
Well,
think
they
it's
have
just a
to.
rush.
They have to, brother.
Yeah. I think it's just a bit of a rush to get things happening, get things done, I suppose. So, and that question you asked me, why am I bringing this one? And what was the other one not good enough? And that's probably what it is. It's probably not good enough. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
Well, I mean, and if we were being serious, brother, I mean, like, we never, when we were told we needed to be vaccinated and that, we were never told about boosters either, like, and now it's every 6 months you've got to have a booster. So, just something worth thinking about, I guess. And,
definitely. I mean, I think, and as other countries open up and international travel starts to open up, I think, people will have to, you won't be able to get into any other country without it. I mean, it's like the old days, like I think I mentioned earlier on, that we probably need to have it. Years ago, we used to have a malaria shot to go to,
that's right.
to go to intervention, things like that, or Thailand, to have a malaria shot. So, and we did that because we wanted to go somewhere, get over there, that sort of thing. But mate, it's I think it's still a bit of work in progress. I think they're just seeing how things are going. They'll find better things. They'll find better ways to deal with this, and I do that as quick as they can, I suppose, to prevent any more loss of life. Really.
Well, I mean that's the big thing, brother, and what sort of I suppose. A little bit disappointing is like the divide that it's put between people, that are having the vaccination and people that aren't having it. It's sort of put a bit of a divide there, and you hate to see that, brother, because we work so hard. I know in our country to be able to, get people to work together and play together and all that sort of stuff. So it just makes it a little bit, I suppose, a little bit disappointing that people are arguing about different things, and and it's all I suppose it's all a matter of choice, brother. So
it's all a matter of choice.
And I don't think like people being called anti-vaxxers or things like that. Maybe there is some anti-vaxxers in that, but I think it's a lot about choice as well. So I don't think it's about, for a lot of people, about being an anti-vaxxer. I think it's more about the uncertainty and the non-information that has been delivered by, our government around the vaccination.
Messaging is just wrong, man. And this last couple of weeks, I suppose, with our premier here, saying it's the last chance to get your vaccine. You've got to get it. I'm thinking, man, that's the wrong way. The more she says it, the more I feel like, no, I don't feel like getting it, What the hell? You can't tell me what to do. And that's happened. Just the wrong messaging.
And I think, CJ, I mean, that's about, about pro-choice, like...
Everyone's got a choice, yeah, that's right.
Yeah. And then I don't know. I mean,
it sounds like if you get it on that, you're never going to get it.
Yeah. Or you're not going to be allowed to even be in our state. That's what it sounded like. So,
yeah, that's what poor choice of words and strategy, I guess.
Yeah, I think so. And I think a lot of the time too, and we've said it before, brother, is, why don't they leave it up to the health experts to be able to talk about it instead of the pollies, the politicians, because I don't think they've got a clue on, much about health, to be honest. So, I think that if they leave it to the right people to give those directions and give people a little bit more information. I mean, I don't think that's too much to ask for, brother.
No, it's not, mate. It's not. But all the stuff, like you say, that division and all that labeling and stereotyping or whatever you want to call it is not good for mental health, I guess. Honestly, I've talked about I've been watching the news lately, and I know we said don't watch too much news, but because of COVID and all the stuff that they talk about COVID, now it's all about bloody people getting like crime. It was like people, basically getting bashed up and shot and killed in a car accident and all that stuff happening. Now I'm thinking, wow, how because COVID took all the headlines. This has all been going on in the background. Now it's starting to come back up again, I reckon. So it's kind of weird. But also, like you say, it's about looking after each other and reaching out and talking to people, I suppose. And I know throughout the 20 months that we've been talking together, I know that you had some sorry business going on in the background and some issues going on in the background. I know that affected you. The same with me, mate. We've all been carrying stuff that we really had to deal with whilst COVID was on, and all able to deal with because COVID was on, and that was kind of stressing everyone out as well. So I think that the sooner we sort of get, and I don't know what the result is from that really, because those things that you could do, how are we going to mend those things when we come out of COVID?
That's right, brother. Look, again, beautifully said. I mean, we all don't know the answers. We wish we did, and we wish we'd be able to, help people out with that and help ourselves out as well. And the big thing is, I mean, and which happens in the media and social media and those sort of things is this fear base that is put out there for everyone, and it just instills fear into everyone. So everyone's don't know what they're doing because they're so scared to from what they've heard. So I think that we have to, start to all come together and let's not fight about if old mate hasn't had a vaccine or old mate has had a vaccine, because the same thing is like we've heard. We were talking to a lady at John Flynn Hospital the other day who works at John Flynn, and she went up to, I think it might have been Springbrook or Mount Tambourine or somewhere like that, CJ, and she went to go into one of the coffee shops there, and they said, "Hey, have you been vaccinated?" And she said, "Yeah, I have. I'm double vaccinated and all that sort of stuff." And they said, "Well, if you are, you can't come in here." So there's just some crazy stuff that's happening, brother. You know what I mean? So yeah, and you've got it both ways. You know what I mean? So it's not something that's simple to actually fix. So, but look, one of the big things is that we just need to be nice to each other. So.
I think so. Yeah, we've got to be nice to each other. Whatever your persuasion is, whatever you believe or whatever choice you make in life, nice, mate. And, just get on with people. I suppose that's the big thing. I see Jan's put in there about the human guinea pig. She says, "So true, Charlie. Human guinea pigs, due to the speed and devastation of this pandemic, avoiding crowded places is my main strategy, but you do feel at risk every time you step out of the house. Life goes on as normal as possible, but there's that like a shadow there."
Yeah.
It's kind of weird because we go to places here where it's pretty bad. Like nothing's happened there. COVID, what COVID? And there are people everywhere. The markets, for instance, guys, people everywhere in the markets. And now they're not even wearing masks. So
yeah, that's right. That's right.
So you just wonder what, whether or not it's safe. I just like to see people anyway. But I don't think that kind of suspicion about who will I get it or is someone in here that's carrying COVID or whatever. I need to get that out of our heads a bit, because that's that thinking JB. That's that mindset about, looking at everybody a bit strangely because you don't know. And I think that, I think you can't ignore it, but you got to do your best to be nice and say hello, whatever,
Yeah.
But anyway, it's going to be like this for ages. So I think we just got to get our heads straight about it, and how we go about stuff. Honestly, I don't change much when I'm going out and talk to people. So it's always the same CJ that gets out there. But and I really don't, I kind of make people's choices. I suppose they don't want to get vaccinated. That's up to them. And my choice is to do this. My choice is to support, the Mighty Blues, the Carltons.
Yeah.
That's my choice. Well, that's my choice. That type of thing. Yeah. And
I like the choice.
Yeah, that's right. Mighty Blues. So it's that kind of thing. It's no different, really. Yeah, mate. Yeah,
we got Scotty Page there too. He said, agree, JB. This has become a political chessboard based on extreme examples to frighten voters. I know Scotty loves reading up and doing his research and all that sort of stuff as well. So, yeah, it's look, as we said before, CJ, let's try and be nice to each other, and because that old saying, brother, you never know what someone else is going through until you've been in their shoes, brother. So, I think we need to look at that, and I think we need to look at, how it's affected people and how it's all that sort of stuff, brother. And because we also know, that suicide has gone up, and so is, let's not beat around the bush. So is domestic violence and family violence and child abuse, and all the numbers are rising. So this is something that we all need to work on together to be able to come through this and make the world a better place.
Yeah, definitely, mate. Yeah, there's a lot of people that are suffering at the moment. They're struggling with everything. What is normal these days, something people struggle with, and I think that it's as before the COVID pandemic, before the start of 2020, this was happening all the time as well. People are just being isolated. They just have been left to go. Someone was saying, what was that? There was something that happened recently. Oh, that when that young girl got found over in Western Australia, and obviously the fellow that took him was an Aboriginal bloke, and and just by what the seeing vision and information about him, obviously he was he's a human being, but he did have some issues. You know what I mean? And who was looking out for him? Who's looking after him? It's kind of weird. It was kind of weird situation over there. Great that we found the young girl, what's her name? Chloe or
Claire, was it? Claire?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. So, but that was what because Michelle and I were talking about it the other day, and she said, "Oh, he's a bit strange." I said, "Well, that's part of what he's like. That's where he's come from. That's his thing, and who's involved in that. You've got to dig a bit deeper and find out exactly what the mindset is of that young bloke." So, but anyway, he's now down in Perth somewhere, I suppose, in custody. So we'll see what happens with that. But a very, very young day to find the young girl.
Oh, absolutely fantastic, brother. I mean, to have that and the outcome that it was, I mean, just brilliant.
Yeah. They say there was some heroes there because there was a couple of people that lived a couple of doors up that tipped the police off, for Aboriginal family that tipped the police off, that this guy went and bought some nappies or kindies or whatever. So that was good. don't hear much about that, but yeah, but it's good that, like you say, it's a great outcome. And look, mate, that just one incident, I suppose. Things like that have been happening a lot throughout history, and probably even today still that we don't know about, you know, and people going missing, and all that time around the stolen generation, same things, you know. But this was just unknown who took the young girl. But back those days, I think we knew who took the kids. You know,
Yeah.
you know what I mean. We knew who took the kids, and separating the
Yep.
kids from the parents, and putting them into institutions, and you know, things like that.
And I think you're right there too, CJ. I mean, you know, like I dare say that every Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander person has been affected by the stolen generation in some way, form, or shape. You know, and it is. I mean, it's, you know, like it's hard to hear. It's hard to listen to, you know, those stories, but those stories need to be told as well, brother. You know, so.
Yeah, I know, mate. Yeah, I mean, it's just you know, what happened recently is a really good example of, you know, how it affected everyone, the whole nation.
Yeah.
You know, I can't imagine look, if I'd lost my kid, you know, that way, I'd be devastated. You know, that what's his name, Daniel Morecambe stuff. It really is, you know.
Yeah.
So it's really difficult, and yeah, so heartbreaking, mate. You know, so heartbreaking when that happens. And,
it's devastating for, you know, family, and I mean, you can also imagine, you know, like it has been a great outcome, but you can also imagine the emotional trauma and stress that you know, that little girl and the mother and the stepfather and, you know, everyone's going to have, brother. I mean, it's just, you don't know the effects until later on. So
yeah, definitely, mate. Yeah, no, well, I think it's good, mate. I think it's like you say, it's good that they found where she was, and he's back home with mum and dad now. So it's pretty good. Yeah, but yeah,
Jan
mate,
Hogan, go on, brother. Yeah,
no, she reckoned. What did she say? That was amazing.
yeah.
That was amazing. She was found. We rarely hear that have survived these abductions. Yeah, rarely hear it. Yeah, because I don't know, they say 6 hours before you know that you're not going to get the kid back, or whoever's been taken. So, that's been a really good outcome. Yeah. So, brother, listen, what's going on the week for you, mate? It's Monday, start of a new week. Getting near Christmas.
Yeah, it is. Certainly is.
Yeah.
I just wanted to give a bit of a shout out to one of our beautiful sisters down there in Mildura, Melinda Rose. Her boy was pretty badly beaten, and you know, has to have some major surgery, and has now lost his business, and you know, and Melinda's going through a pretty horrible stretch at the moment. So I just want to say a big shout out, big cheerio to Melinda and all her family down there, because I see a little boy as well had most of his skin ripped off his knee yesterday or day before. So yeah, just a big shout out to Melinda, and hope everything is okay and will be okay, Melinda. All our love from us mob here, and you know, just hope it's okay.
And little fella's knee over, it's mending okay. It's not one thing, it's another, mate. And yeah, all the best. And you know, it's sad to hear about your eldest bloke. And just got to get back up from there and keep going. That's what I reckon. And you know, just got to keep going. City Chatfield's on, mate, and he said,
"Hey, brother,
how you going?
Yeah,
the human mind is designed to work's highest ability. Lockdown has had an effect upon all people and cultures. I believe that they are attuned to freedom and wide open spaces. It's why both jails and homes have high percentage of places of offences in violence. And I don't think this is a cultural trait, but a human trait. Lockdown isolation are truly damaging, but with things they were here in New South Wales, did government really have any other option? Definitely, we're not prepared for it. Yep, I don't think we will. Yeah, we were never prepared for it, mate. Yeah.
Yeah, well said, brother. Said, yeah, look,
Yeah.
agree totally. Couldn't agree anymore. And I suppose you're damned if you do, and you're damned if you don't. So
Yeah, no, that's right. We can't beat it. It's just we just got to work with it, I suppose, at the minute. CAB's not going away. It's just happening, and yeah, I think that was the plan, I suppose. And I think they just bought some time to bloody get their health system sorted out to be able to cope with this, have the capacity to do it. But I can't see it happening, JB.
nah.
Yeah. No, it's not really.
Now, we got a little bit on for the week, brother. We're doing a little bit of work with New South Wales Health around a mental health framework and that sort of stuff. So we're trying to talk to as many people as we can about what they'd like to see, in that strategy. So hopefully we get to, and if anyone wants to have a yarn, and let me know, and we can certainly have you, have a yarn to you about what you might want in that, what it looks like for you, and as a carer or someone that suffers with mental health or service provider, anyone that wants to have those sort of yarns, we want to have a yarn to, brother. So yeah.
Yeah, definitely, bro. Yeah. I see. I was had a bit of a chat on Facebook with Dwayne Bannon.
Yeah.
I think he's keen to catch up with both of us. Try to talk about a bit of a project going forward, and see how we can go with getting some others support for it, I suppose. So with especially with November, he was saying how not a lot's happening in the Aboriginal space. There's been a few projects, as you know, JB, that has happened from some of the funding, but I think we probably need to have a better look at how that funding can bigger impact or better impact for our blokes and families.
I think it'd be wonderful, CJ. Because like Movember's got that big following, and attracts a lot of media and all that sort of stuff. And I think that it is time for our lads to get on board and and be part of it. And maybe there is some partnerships worth talking about there, because as we know that a lot of the time our lads, Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander lads, do think that they are at the bottom of the barrel when it comes to healthcare and those sort of things. So yeah, look, I think it's really worthy of talking about.
Yeah, definitely. So we'll try and we'll sit down and have a chat about it, because I think we've got to take stock of what's happening around the place as well. I mean, creating projects that had already been done, or creating projects that have been done by different organisations. It's about how do we work with organisations to kind of get a bit of a an understanding and agreement, partnership to work together. You know what I mean? So it's really about doing a bit of an audit on what's happening in our communities, and then finding a better way forward, I suppose, that creates greater access. But the trick is, JB, it's not a trick. It's actually, the focus is on families, mate. And whether you're a mum who's dealing with some breast cancer, or a father that's dealing with some prostate cancer or testicular cancer, or a youngling with mental health, you know what I mean? There's still a family unit, and we really need to work out how do families support those that are having problems in their lives around their health. So it's kind of like, how do we support each other? And we talk about this a fair bit on this particular check-in, and how do we support each other when we know someone's down, someone's heard some bad news, they need to, may have to need to go and get treatment, maybe go to the doctor to find out what's going on. I need to talk to someone. How do we kind of, with families, to rally around that particular person, their loved one, to get them to a better place, I suppose. You know what I mean? It's kind of like sometimes we separate men's and health and
No. Well, look, I couldn't agree more, brother. And like as you know, like the work that we do, we started off as a men's organisation, but since 2014, it's been men, women, and whole communities because that's what
Yeah.
our communities wanted. So look,
Yeah.
and again, brother, there's no one that us to respect men's and women's business to the utmost degree. But the thing is, this is about developing things for future generations. So
Oh,
we
definitely.
need to be all working together. We need our women, and we need them to be, for us to be by their side. They've been really strong over the years, brother. So
Oh, definitely.
like and
That's
taking
right.
the lead. So
Well,
like we certainly applaud them for what they've done for us, and it's been such a beautiful thing that they have done. And as our lads that have been saying for the last few years, it's time for them, our lads, now to regain their rightful place in society.
yeah,
And that's about working with our women and knowing what our women want, what our kids want as well, and then
definitely. Yeah.
and having those yarns where our men and our women can both talk about what they need, and what the solutions may be as well, brother.
Yeah, definitely. Everyone needs each other. You know what I mean? I'm sure that when you say there was that time in our history where the women actually stepped up because the men went missing, and we need to bring them back into the picture. And
Oh,
and in
big
fact,
time.
the women do need our men. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
In terms of family, you needed to have that head of family stuff. So we it's kind of like, yeah, we need to bring that family unit together. And
Look,
yeah,
so much, brother, and it certainly is needed, and those sort of things. And I think that's what we've been able to do is now work with our men and women at the same time, and
yeah,
it's been amazing to watch. Like our men and our women work together, and like. I do have to say that being a part of the first 1,000 Days of Australia, with Professor Kerry Arabina and Mivan doing the work with the men. But like being at a lot of those workshops where there's women in the audiences and not many fellas, and just the way that our women carry themselves, and and it doesn't matter, like yes, there's some negative stuff, but the positive affirmation and all those sort of things that our women and messages of love that they sent out to our fellas not to give up was really really big for a lot of our lads when they seen messages like that coming from our women, CJ. It just made them a lot stronger as well. So
yeah,
um,
yeah.
I would love to thank all those women that that were part of that first 1,000 Days Australia that sent out those messages and
Mm.
all of love and strength to our fellas, brother. Yeah, so
Yeah, so based on all that stuff, mate, I think there's probably that we could probably do. Not be, the solution to the whole thing. It'd be a part of, a step on the way, to regaining that kind of, that kind of love within the community, within the family. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, yeah, we need to work out how do we do this better. What's happening in our families, and how do we for me, once I was told and diagnosed with prostate cancer, it was like Michelle, like basically, was there to support, always were there to support me, that type of stuff. And I've done it, could never have gotten this far without going through all those treatments and stuff, without my family. So it kind of says that, and I think that it all starts when, like you say, the first 1,000 days is about the mum, and what we have to do to support them when that happens, because we know that they're going to be needing our support to actually raise the young one.
can I say too? I mean, beautifully said again, CJ. The thing that like I was lucky enough to do was was able to. I did my masters on Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander fathering, and what our lads wanted and needed. And I was lucky enough to be able to talk to a lot of men around us, a lot of our fellows around Australia, and we think the fellas don't speak, but when they're in that safe, well facilitated space, that they will talk about what they need, what they want, and they're often got the solutions as well. And the big thing about what I got out of it was that our fellas do need that safe space, and they certainly do want to take responsibility for what they've created as well. So.
Yeah.
A lot of the times we think there's no hope is out there, and of course there is, brother, because there's good and bad in everything. But speaking to our lads and the way that they want to see things happen for their families and step up and be counted, and then not only to step up and be counted, but then to actually stay strong for their kids and their partners or ex-partners or whatever it is. So
maybe that's it. And working out how, for those families that are separated, how they actually can get mutual, usually for the children, I suppose, that type of stuff. And No, mate, there's a bit more conversation to be had, I suppose, around that, and we sit down and have the arguments.
We'd love that, brother. We'd love that. Yeah.
We'll put something maybe out of your research, out of Mimbar stuff that's been done the first 1,000 days, what Blaine's doing in there around the warrior stuff is going to be bring that all together. There's something there. I'm sure that maybe it's a model that that catches on and basically changes the way forward, especially for our families. I won't say men, but families and women. Yeah. All right, Bames. Look, we'll hit the hour.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going well. I think I really enjoyed that last year. It was really good because it gives us something to work. And I'm looking forward next Monday, maybe, or we might have a draft of and have Pete back on to talk about what he's done. As a logo, that'll be good.
Look, he's done the draft and he's going to have that ready this week sometime, he said. So, really looking forward to it. And as you said, we'll get Pete back on to, tell us about what the story, because just amazing story. Like, he told me a little bit about it, and I said, brother, you got to come back on and tell everyone, about this work of art that you have done for us. So,
definitely.
And it's from the bottom of his heart as well,
definitely, mate.
He hasn't asked for anything. He's done it. So just fantastic.
I don't think he pays from here. I think he pays from here. When he does things like this. Yeah. So good stuff, brother. Yeah, we'll look forward to next Monday, mate. Everyone, good talking today, mate. We most probably will have on next week to do that for us. And everyone have a great week. Stay safe.
Yeah, everyone have a great week. Yep. Stay safe. Show a bit of kindness to other people, and bit of
kindness. Check out and reach out.
Thoughts go out to everyone that's struggling. So
definitely.
Over and out for now. Love yous all. See you next week.